What's going on, people? Welcome back. Only Fact Sports. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nick here. I am tired and I am prepared for a very, very long day of streaming. We've got, man said, bro spelt Forest for 2 hours. That wasn't me. I changed it. That was Shane. So blame that Tottenham education that he gets. We've got a big day of streaming. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest at home. Erdegaard back from injury. That's why we're here. That's the main event for right now. But we've got Crocker versus Donovan later. I'm not 100% sure we're going to cover it, but we'll probably cover it. And then at 4 a.m., 4 a.m., 4 a.m., something around there, we have Canelo versus Crawford, the fight of the year. I expect to see you, man, there. Obviously, it's going to be early hours Sunday morning. Look at me, bro. Man's tired, bro. Man is tired, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got to finish this game. I'm hoping Arsenal can get a win. Arsenal better get a win, bro. Nottingham Forest actually the team that my dad supports, believe it or not. So I'll be holding corn if we don't win. And I've watched games of him before where we lost. FA Cup game, Taiwo Awani did it to us 92nd minute, and I was holding bare corn for my dad. So we better win, do you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna hit the gym, make some food, come back, streaming again this evening, and then streaming again tomorrow morning. It's gonna be a long day of streaming, but listen, you man, make it worth it. Pause, do you know what I'm saying? By tuning in, by locking in, comments and subscribing, all that good stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Past 2.5K, we're on the road to 5K. So please do like and subscribe. Do you know what I'm saying? Bring any of your bridges that support Arsenal, Man United, even the haters like AT, big regular hater on the channel. Do you know what I'm saying? Bring the hate through, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Big up Nick, Mustafa, my guy. I love, bro. Oh shit, here we are again. You know what? I'm not even feeling confident. I'm not even feeling confident today. I'll be so honest with you. I'm going 3-1 Arsenal, Nick. Yeah. Where are the goals coming from? Mustafa, where are the goals coming from? Who's getting the 3 goals? Do you know what I mean? Up the Chelsea, hate the Arsenal, world champions. Yeah, listen, what can I say, man? You man are world champions in it. That's facts. AT, big up. You confident tonight? Yeah. Eze debut. Yeah, I'm excited for Eze's debut for sure. That is definitely a positive. His first start. Eze, Gyökeres, and not all three of the front three. You think all three of the front three? I got the only facts mug. Come on, man. All three of the front three going to score today. 2-1 Forest. Look at this negativity. More vibes radio coming through with. I hear it. Listen, man. I just feel like. Let me go through the teams and kind of explain how I feel, because we've got a couple key people missing. Now, it is good that Erdegaard's back. And I think that Erdegaard being back is one of the reasons that Rice is getting rotated. So let me kind of explain. Kickoff is 10 minutes away. So we ain't got to wait too long. David Raya in goal, Jurriën Timber right back. Mosquera comes in for Saliba, who's injured. Mosquera's look good, so I'm really interested to see Mosquera start at the Emirates as well. Mosquera and Gabriel centre backs, Calafiori left back. I do want to see us use the entire squad, but again, we'll get into it. Rice, I'm so used to saying Declan Rice. He's not in the team. Rice is not starting. That for me is a big concern. That also means, in my opinion, we expect to dominate a lot of the ball. We've got Zubimendi, Marino, Erdegaard. Zubimendi and Erdegaard, both good quality ball players. Marino, I'm not so sure about. But that being said, since Zubimendi's come in, we're saying good ball player. He's not looked great. He's not looked great. I can see there's some level of technical ability there, but for a Spanish midfielder, his ball retention's not been the best in my opinion, and he is pretty easy to press. Pause. Then you got Madueke, who's been killing it for England on the international break. Eze, we know what he brings, and Gyökeres as well. And it does look like Eze is going to be playing a lot more on the wing than in the 10. So my concern is not having Rice in there. Maybe it's for rotation. Maybe it is a case of not having Rice and Erdegaard both in the team at the same time, because Erdegaard needs to build his relationship with Zubimendi as well. Having Erdegaard and Eze together is good. I do like that. There are two players there, maybe even Madueke getting to the byline as well, cutting the ball across. Madueke is going to play off the right, though, instead of the left. But that might mean that he can get to the byline and put balls across the box for Gyökeres. I feel like Eze, Madueke, and Erdegaard's game, a lot of it is going to be to support Victor Gyökeres, who hasn't exactly hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? Exploit that high line, Nick. Did they play a high line? Or is that Ange? Because Ange just said he's coming in. I know Ange plays a high line, but Ange is not looking to change anything too soon. So, do you know what I mean? AT says, I think we'll win again. A little bit scrappy, but yeah, there's bare question marks over how we play at the moment. You lot have a decent, young, talented team, though. You guys are kind of where Arsenal were, I feel like 2 or 3 seasons ago, but you guys are picking up trophies along the way, so it's looking good for you. United fan, but I'm serious, though. Yeah, listen, we're going to be live for the United game tomorrow as well. Shane and Lex, I'm going to be out at a wedding, but Shane and Lex are both going to be here covering the Manchester derby, so drop your comments down and predictions for that one as well, but lock in for that, because that is really a game that could go either way. Man United like to turn up for derbies. Mosquito, respect my centre backs, bro. Respect my players. Do you know what I'm saying? AT, because it is next for Chelsea, interesting how you do. Because OT is next after tonight. That's true. That is true, but Chelsea will probably win at OT, to be fair. Yo, F Tex, what you saying, my bro? What are you saying? Who's going to be here for the boxing later as well? Watch out for Backward and Ndoye. Them man are ballers. Listen, let's get into Forest team, because they've got... Forest got a good team. Chris Wood last season was one of the players in form. Well, one of the best players, one of the best nines. People were saying in summer, Arsenal should go for Chris Wood. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad. So they've got Sells in goal, Murillo, Milenkovic, centre backs. Decent, but they do like to push up a little bit, especially Murillo can be a little bit rash. We could maybe exploit that a little bit. Williams and Morato, Sangar and Anderson. Sangar is a baller as well. He's a decent player. Very decent player. That front three just behind Wood, that midfield three is definitely dangerous. Callum Hudson-Odoi, hot and cold, but on his day can be very dangerous. We know what he can do. Morgan Gibbs-White and Odoi, we know those two are both ballers. And Chris Wood, listen, he's going to be trying to put it on Gabriel and put it on Mosquera, and if they can put balls into the box, they can definitely be dangerous. Amad Diallo, yo, what's good, my bro? Sociedad midfield, I know Arteta would do that. Yeah, but it's not even looking. It's not looked great. It's not looked great. Do you know what I mean? Rice dropped or rested. He's crucial for set pieces. I don't know. I actually don't know. I wouldn't say dropped because obviously people say that he could be an Arsenal captain and he's been a really really good player. So it's not a question of dropped, but rotated for sure. I don't think it's necessarily an injury because I think he'll feature. I'm not sure what the reason is. I don't know if we're still trying to just play Zubmendi into the Premier League and getting more used to the pace of the game, because I do really feel like I can see the talent. I can see Zubmendi's vision. I can see the talent. I can see what he's trying to do, but it's just a little bit too slow. It's a little bit too slow, and it's almost like watching Jorginho last year, but without the balls in behind. Jorginho at least could break lines, play a ball over the top. We're not quite seeing that yet. So the Zubamendi and Gyökeres connection needs to be a lot better, and maybe that's why he's in there. Michael Perkins said Rice is garbage, so you man should be more fluid. He's definitely not garbage. Even if you want to say we'll be more fluid without him, I don't know that that's true. But maybe you're onto something there. But he's not garbage. We cannot call Declan Rice garbage. He's probably England's. I was going to say England's best box-to-box midfielder, Jude Bellingham. But after Jude Bellingham, he's probably England's best proper central midfielder. That's not a 10 or like a 6. He's probably England's second best all-round midfielder. Our record at OT is shocking. United like to turn up for derbies, man. United like to turn up for derbies. I think Rice is your best midfielder. I saw Forest blaming... What's happened here? Hang on. I don't know what's happened to the studio and StreamYard. It's just gone a bit booky. I don't even know if I'm still live. I think so. That was very, very weird. Don't know what happened there. Andrew's here to relegate Forest. Andrew's a decent manager, man. He's not a terrible manager. It's just a question of it's a question of whether he can be tactically flexible enough. But if he can get Nottingham Forest into even fucking top 8, I think that'll be considered a success. Big up, G. Catch you later for the boxing. Shebs, Wagwan, my bro. Yeah, boxing is going to be crazy today. Crocker versus Donovan this evening. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure we're going to cover it because I might need to nap. I'm streaming the boxing today. That's going to finish about 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I've got a wedding I need to be at 2 p.m. So I don't even know. I actually don't know how I'm going to manage it or what I'm going to do. But who's taking set pieces? Because Rice is mid, but he's probably our best. He's probably your best best in the world at taking corners. Yeah, maybe we're not going to try and be set piece FC. Do you know what I mean? Who else could take set pieces? Erdegaard. is okay. He's not great from corners, but he's okay from corners. But he's decent at free kicks, direct free kicks. Not as good as Rice, but there you go. What am I to say? I don't like a manager who isn't flexible. No one likes a manager that's not flexible. It's one of Arteta's problems. But at the same time, the expectations to win European trophies and the expectations at Tottenham versus the expectations at Nottingham Forest are very, very different. Do you know what I mean? He's definitely got enough to get Forest to where they need to be. He's got enough to get Tottenham to where they need to be. They just didn't have the balls to stick with it. Do you know what I'm saying? But we've kicked off anyway. Let's see. My prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I think we win, but I don't feel super confident, I'll be honest. I really don't feel it's going to be it's going to be a difficult game. I really don't feel confident. And I'm not confident because I still don't know what exactly I'm going to see from this team. There's a lot of changes. There haven't been a lot of signings that have come in, but the signings that have come in make things very different. And so it's really, really difficult to see what the style of football is that we're going to play. Man United versus, we played 3 league games, and the way that we've played in those 3 league games has been very, very different. And the Liverpool game for me was the most disappointing, even though people could argue that it was one of the better performances in terms of dominating the ball at Anfield and not restricting Liverpool to not very much. But like a lot of people say about Arsenal, and normally I agree with Arsenal fans, but I have to agree with the crowd on this one, that Arsenal just didn't impose themselves. Gabriel tries to go to Gyökeres straight away, and Gyökeres, they're just on a different page. Gyökeres not ready to drop in and receive that ball. He's just not very mobile, Gyökeres. He's not very mobile. So I just see a world where this is why Arteta wanted Šeško, because Gyökeres, he just wants to score goals. And if he played in a team like a prime Man City, not even a Man City like today, like a prime Man City, that might work for him. But in the way that football's played today, I don't think there's any team in the Premier League that you can be a 9 and just get created endless chances. I don't think it works that way. The Premier League's too high a standard, even against even the lower down teams are too high a standard, in my opinion. That's me. I'm Amarin out, but I'm actually confident for the derby because Amarin has Pep's number so far. Interesting. Shane in the chat saying we need more likes. Get the likes up as well, man. Then if you don't get the likes up, Shane shouts at me. I love David Raya's distribution. I'd love him to just do it a little bit quicker, but I do really like David Raya's distribution and Odegaard doing what he does, picking up little pockets of space and keeping us ticking. It's good to see him back as well. He played really well in the international break. So did Marino. I wonder if Marino will be a potential goal scorer today. Like I say, I think got like 6 or 9 goals or something like that last season. Rice is just a stiff centre half with a decent touch playing in midfield. He's a typical Arsenal player who can't turn up in a big game. I mean, he turned up against Real Madrid. The games don't get a lot bigger than that. But yeah, no, definitely, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, he scored against Man United when he first signed. He scored the winner against Man United. He scored 2 goals against Real Madrid. He's turned up in several big games for us. I don't know. I just disagree with what you're saying. I think Šeško will start tomorrow because Cunha and Mount both injured. Mount injured again. Mount injured again. Doing what? You look great, Nick. Thank you, Alice. Just done the overlays. All right, save. There is a Nottingham Forest player down. Are we going to play this ball out? Calafiori not playing it out, which is going to rile up the Nottingham Forest fans. I think someone like Odegaard or someone will play it out. I reckon. Let's see. Yeah, they're gonna. This Ndoye that's down. So they're gonna slow it down. Trouble is Marino is very slow as well. I think Odegaard and Zubi will look decent. With someone else could work. Yeah, I think so. Right now, though, just right now, like Zubimendi's a better player than Marino overall. But right now, because Marino's had some time to adjust to Premier League football, I feel like I feel a lot safer with Marino than I do at the moment with Zubimendi. Zubimendi just feels like if we're against a team that's going to press us, and most teams are, bar like the bottom 4, most teams are going to come and press us and try and win the ball off of us. And I feel like the physical side of the game, Mourinho's just a little bit safer because Zubin just hasn't got to the speed of the Premier League just yet. That's how I feel. Mount has a knock. When does this brother not have a knock? He's pathetic, bro. Also, quick advert: we are live all weekend. Hit the likes, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Like I say, um, Nick, your tone switched like mad. You was real positive a few weeks ago. Do you know what it is? It's a mixture of the football that I saw, the Liverpool game for me, the Liverpool game. That was the game because Leeds, we play Leeds. I think we played well, but it's Leeds, obviously. Man United, I felt like Man United did well. That's a lovely little touch and turn. Marino finds Erdegaard. Can we find a shot here? It's almost a nice pass. It's a good idea from Erdegaard. There wasn't someone there in that space, but that was a really good idea. Gabriel just flicking it over Chris Wood's head. Just so sick. Gabriel is such a player, man. He's such a player. But for me, AT, it's the mindset when I see how we played against Liverpool, and I said it on the stream that day. We've got time to turn the tide, but we're going up against the title holders. We're going up against the team we went against for the title, and we weren't good at reading the room. There was a time, and there were moments, not even moments. There was a good 10-15 minute period where Liverpool weren't imposing themselves, and we could have gone forward and really, if we go forward and take the game away from them, you know I keep that. That's what I was expecting us to do. Right, we saw the signings come in. We saw Zubmendi come in with a big reputation. We saw Gyökeres come in. And we said, right, Arsenal serious. Arsenal serious. Okay, cool. Now we're serious. When we have a big opportunity to show how serious we are, let's go. Come on, let's go. Doesn't happen. Really, really passive, and that for me was just really confusing. There's time to turn it around, but have you seen yesterday press conference? I'm a fan of Canelo now. Why? What did he say that made you a fan of him? Marino works with Pedri, Rodri, but not Erdegaard, and Zubamendi is strange. Yeah, I mean Rodri is better than Zubamendi by a considerable distance. He plays a little bit further up for Spain, I feel like, but yes, it is. I think it's different. I don't think it's that strange. I don't think it's that strange. Rodri and Pedri are two very different players to Zubamendi and Erdegaard. Fair enough. I'm hammering out, but confident in the derby. Yeah, Erdegaard, free kick, headed, knocked down. Oh, who was that? Was Zubamendi? That was Marino as well, I think. Erdegaard. Oh, and it's gone in really rash there. I don't think the ref will give that as a foul. Erdegaard's down. Zubamendi, can he just tidy that up? Is Erdegaard going to get up? It's great feet from. That is lovely from Noni Madueke. And that was really good from Marino. Again, Marino, I think that was Marino trying to find that ball through to Gyökeres. That was good. The centre back has come out. It's not a foul. He's won the ball, but he's just come out and sived through everybody there. It was a good free kick, and it was Marino on his weak foot just trying to turn that ball on target. Marino is always such a goal threat. That's the issue. Marino is not, like I said, he's not technically better than Erdegaard. He's not technically better than Zubamendi. He's not technically better than Rice, but he's very, very effective. And I think a lot of players or a lot of clubs have these players where maybe technically they're not the best, but they just work very, very almost like a Conor Gallagher or someone like that, who's not really technically the best, but will just cause chaos. And Erdegaard is down. I think it might be his shoulder and the way he landed on his shoulder that could be a potential problem. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious because we just can't be losing players to injury, especially Erdegaard and Saka and like essential starters and the captain as well. Do you know what I mean? But this is what Marino's going to give you. This is what Marino's going to give you. It's like he knows he's not the most talented, so he makes himself really effective. And then every team needs players like that. Scott McTominay was like that for Man United. People thought he's not as technical as a Fred or someone else, but he's just an effective player. The announcer was licking Dana White's arse. He said boxing wasn't great. Now he can. Now he comes here to save us, and then Canelo interrupted and said boxing's always been great. Yeah, you can't say that in front of Canelo. Canelo has been pound for pound top 5 for the last like 15 years. Do you mean saying boxing hasn't been great is just a straight disrespect to Canelo? So he's never going to accept that. Do you mean there's no this sucking off Dana White thing is weird. Like fair enough, he's been brought in to promote the fight, but the two fighters that are being the two fighters that are in the fight both have never worked with Dana White before. So just don't make any sense. I might be a little bit behind you, lot. Noni Madueke on the corner. Was that a save? And that was wide. Oh, was that the save from Marina that you're talking about? I don't know if you're ahead of me or behind me, because the save from Marina was a while ago. The fight for me isn't getting enough hype. Do you think if they had two good fighters on the undercard, like Belanga and Plant, for example, that hated each other, it would help the build up? Nah, not really. Belanga and Plant are not really going to offer more entertainment. The fight doesn't have a lot of hype because they're not two hyped fighters. They're they kind of quietly talk their shit. Arsenal actually playing some good football. Heavy touch from Madueke. I like the football that I'm seeing from um from Arsenal right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's much better, much more progressive. It's much more flowy. I think a lot of that is Erdegaard being back. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm on 10 minutes and 30 seconds right now. Taking that good old sleeping pill against Warangao, a goal against Arsenal. Bro, we've played, it's 10 minutes in, we've actually played some decent football. I'm not going to lie. Against Liverpool, fair enough, but we played some decent football. After Dana was beefing with Eddie Hearn, he said, I was involved in two of the best fights in boxing ever. Dana White's actually a clown. Like, he said that football, like European football, have the worst athletes, have the least athletic people, and anyone can kick a ball. And it's the easiest sport to do. It's just not true. Just not true. A little bit sloppy from Gabriel there. A rare mistake from Gabriel, and he's screaming at Zubamendi. I think he just wants the ball faster. Zubamendi not happy, but it's facts. Zubamendi does everything, not everything right. He does a lot of things right, but just too slow. At like 60, 70% of the speed it needs to be done at. And it's levels. I've got certain groups of friends I play with that just play the game exactly the same way, but 2 or 3 times quicker. It's a great touch. That's great football from Arsenal there. Noni Madueke trying to isolate his defender. That's lovely. Skips past the fullback. Ball to the back post. And Noni Madueke, again, really effective. Not the best, but really effective. 12 minutes in, though. Haven't seen Eze. Well, where's Eze, bro? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up, blood? Where are you? I'm not like Noni Madueke's doing his thing. Marino's doing his thing. I'm not really seeing Eze right now. Zubamendi, what can you do? Mm. Yeah, they're showing the attack. It's most of the attacks have come down the right hand side for Arsenal, to be fair. So Eze hasn't had the opportunity to really show too much. Here he is now. I did say what I liked about Noni Madueke is his ability to go and isolate a defender and run at him 1v1, which not many of our Mosquera, a bit of a suicide pass, but Raya deals with it. Not many of our wingers do. Gyökeres wins that ball. Really, really nice. Out to Eze. That's brilliant football from Gyökeres. Oh, and Eze, if he got that debut goal, it would have gone off. If that went in. Yep, every interview when I see him, I'm pissed. Dana's the worst promoter in combat sports. Bro, Dana's not really a promoter, remember? He's not a promoter. He works for UFC. He runs UFC. They don't have in the West, they don't really have a big competition. UFC, okay, there's Bellator or something, but they've got all the fighters signed to exclusive contracts. What's to promote? In boxing, we have multiple times of the year where there are like multiple fights and you have to decide which fight you're going to watch. Remember, there's boxing every single weekend. Every weekend. Every single Saturday, there's boxing all over the world. So they have to promote because they need to fight for the eyes of the public. In UFC, they don't really have to. So, there's probably more big name boxers than there are UFC fighters in the world right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to really fight for the eyes and for the time. Oh, that ball from Erdegaard was just not right at all. I'm not sure who that was for. Again, it's better from Erdegaard. He's more progressive, much more progressive, looking forwards every time, trying to break the lines of his passes. We know he can do it. Just got to get that decision making back. But he's been out injured, so he's not going to be the freshest, but just need to get that decision making right. Eze always goes to him when he plays on the left. He should be in the 10. But then what do you do with Erdegaard and who plays in the 10? Another really rash challenge from Murillo, I think it was. Arsenal appealing for a free kick. I don't quite think it was a free kick, but it's one of them ones where he's right on the edge of the level of aggression he's allowed to show. Eze just skips past the fullback there. He heard that comment from Amad Diallo and said, "Who's ghosting, blood? Who is ghosting?" For me, the fight of this magnitude isn't getting hyped enough other than the Mbili versus Leicester fight, which casuals don't know about. On the undercard is dead. But I think that fights are always about the main event. It's always about the main event. The top fights never get hype. Bivol Beterbiev, we'd waited about 6 years for, and it didn't have a lot of hype behind it. Why is Edu watching? Oh, Edu's the flipping global head of sport. I was thinking, why is Edu in the crowd? But he works for Nottingham Forest, didn't it? He got flipping. He's a rat, blood. He got my man sacked, didn't it? The Edu's a rat. But Erdegaard down again. Erdegaard's going to come off. Look, 16 minutes in, it's going to be Ethan Wanieri to come on. Erdegaard is coming off. 16 minutes in. No Rice, no Erdegaard. Gyökeres stinks. I don't think he does. I'm not going to lie. That the play when you put that comment, he actually did really well when you put that comment. You're a hater. Turkey and Dane are so fucking awkward together. Turkey's awkward with everyone. Turkey's a weird. If Turkey went to school in the West, he would have got bullied. Do you know what I'm saying? He's probably got a rich parent, so he can't really get bullied too tough. But do you know what I'm saying? He's coming on now. He said you don't know why he's not playing. He's coming on. Odegaard didn't look fit. I don't think he didn't look fit. He played for Norway twice. I think he looked fit. I think that he didn't look like physically fully recovered from his injury. Do you know what I mean? Because every time when he's playing football, he looks fine. As soon as he takes a physical clash, he's really feeling it. I think he's not fully recovered from his injury. Do I think Xavi Simons would be successful at Spurs? I think Xavi Simons is a creme de la creme baller. A creme de la creme. Like, I think that is such a coup for Spurs to have signed him. And I know that he maybe wasn't Spurs' first pick and they missed out on a couple of other players, but I think that is a top signing for Tottenham. European experience. Tottenham have obviously won the Europa League, they're in the Champions League. He's got experience of playing in Europe. Has he played in multiple leagues or he's just played in Holland? No, I think he's only played he's played in he played for one of the Red Bull clubs as well, didn't he? Not Leipzig or was it Salzburg? But anyway, I think he's a top baller. I think he's a really, really top baller. I've wanted him at Arsenal for like 2 years, and he seems like an Arteta type of player. He can play. He can't play in the 6, but he can play in the 8 and ball carry. And he kind of reminds me of Eze with like the kind of street ball flair that he's got. He can play in the 10. He's creative. He can score goals. He's had minutes on the wing, similar to Eze. He's not really the best on the wing, but he can do it. He's had a couple of really big injuries. There's a picture on his Instagram. If you look on his Instagram of his of all the stitching and the surgery he had in his leg, it looks really gruesome. Lovely little touch and turn from Wanieri. This is what he does. Wanieri will definitely get us going forwards because with Erdegaard, when he releases the ball and goes forwards, he waits behind to receive the ball back. With Ethan, he'll get the ball and go forwards. He'll release the ball and carry on going forwards. Here he is in the box already. Straight away, mistime that pass for Timber, but look, it goes and receives the ball again. He's so mobile. He's all over the place. He covers so much ground. But yeah, I think Xavi Simons will be. I think Xavi Simons will be successful at Spurs. We have to define what success looks like for Tottenham because obviously they won a trophy last year, but they were really poor in the league. So we have to define what success looks like. But I think Xavi Simons is I think he's a top player. I think he has the potential to be a top player, 100%. I think he's got it. Honestly, I think it's an amazing signing for Spurs. All banter aside, the only issue would just be that injury record because, like I say, it's not little injuries. He's had two big injuries, like almost season ender injuries. Noni Madueke is playing well off the right, 100%. I agree. Gyökeres's movement is shit. He runs like Canelo. Oh my god, he's definitely not the most athletic player. 100%. He's probably the least athletic person in the Arsenal squad. Do you know what I mean? Calafiori's very athletic. Lewis Skelly, maybe between him and like Zubamendi. But I don't think his movement is terrible. Like his actual running is not good, but his movement in and around the box, I don't think is terrible. He won the ball and popped it out to Eze for an opportunity. Madueke cooking again to the back post. I don't know if that's gone for a goal kick. I don't think he's in. I feel like that's a little bit unfair because in and around the box, which is where you want him playing, I think his movement's actually decent. I really do. Noni Madueke is playing really well off the right. I know Ahmad said that's his best position. He's playing really, really well. And I did say when we signed him, he is going to be the best winger that we have at isolating the fullback. Isolate the fullback, run at them, put them on their back foot, and Jin can go either way. Because he's probably the one that's the most likely to go either way. We know Saka can do it, but we also know that Saka very much wants to get onto his left foot. We know Martinelli wants to very much get onto his right foot. With Noni Madueke, it's like, could be either. Do you know what I'm saying? He ain't got the goals that Saka has. I don't think he's a better player than Saka, but he's a lot more unpredictable than Saka. If you're the fullback defending him, it's a little bit trickier because it's just more unpredictable. That one didn't work. Noni reminds me a little bit of Zaha. I know we've just got Eze from Palace, but Noni actually reminds me of Zaha more than Eze does. Gone for a corner, Murillo again. Okay, Murillo's not good, but he's just solid. Like he's just a solid centre back. Is it going to be Noni Madueke on the corners? It's a decent corner, actually. To be fair, it's a good strike from who's 22. Who was that? Is that Ethan? Zubmendi looks to put a ball in the box. And Nottingham Forest have defended their box really, really well. We've attacked their box really well, but they've defended their box really well. It's well played from Calafiori as well. I think Calafiori is a really good player. Really, really, really good player. I would like to see Miles Lewis Skelly incorporated into this team. Like with his legs and his running through midfield, not just his passing, but his actual like getting the ball and driving through the midfield. I would like to see him be able to slowly start incorporating that into the game. From the deep line midfielders as well. Like Marino gets the ball, you know he's going to pop it off. Zubamendi gets the ball, you know he's going to pop it off. And as if the ref has given that away as a foul. The amount of times Marilla's flown in and then Zubamendi comes, who's not the biggest guy, goes for a 50-50 in the air and they give the foul against him. Ridiculous. But yeah, with Zubamendi and Marino, they both pop the ball off. They both look to move the ball. But with Miles, I feel like there's a chance where if he spots a gap, he will drive the ball through that gap. And we don't really have. It's what I hoped Eze would bring, but we don't have ball carriers through the midfield. We have it with Wanyeri, but we just don't have it with the other midfielders. Do you know what I mean? Ange didn't change Nuno's style for this game. I told you he wouldn't. He said it in an interview. He said it before the game, so I'm not going to change anything. Timber's done well there because he was up against Milinkovic, who Milinkovic is not bad in the air, and Timber's not the best in the air, but he somehow won the header. Nottingham Forest getting fouls for every little bit of contact now. Every bit of contact. Yeah, that whole side with Nico Williams and Eze has been quiet, to be fair. Everything Arsenal's done has come through Madueke. It's a lovely touch to set off. Someone's got to come and receive that ball, though. Everyone's right. Marino had the ball. There were opportunities to play it in. We've now gone all the way back to our own half. No one wanted to come and receive that ball. Everyone just ran away. Someone's got to come and receive that ball and create something. Even if they receive it and bounce it back, someone's got to come receive the ball, man. I don't know the system or the players. Arsenal's creativity this year is shit. Definitely. It actually, I thought Erdegaard looked reasonably creative at first, but what exactly has Gyökeres added to this team, Nick? Nothing, to be honest with you. But I don't necessarily think that that's him being shit. Like I said, I've said it before. That's lovely football for Ethan Wanyeri and Zubamendi. Good link up, ball out to Eze. It's a dodgy touch from Eze, but he wants that shot. Goes out for a throw. He hasn't added anything other than heavy touches. But like I said this before, he is not the striker that Arteta wanted, and Arteta has not built the team to support someone like him. Berta brought in Gyökeres, and Arteta wanted Shesko. So now I'm seeing Shesko at United. I'm like, okay, I can see why that's what Arteta wanted. But I don't think it's been him being poor. We haven't. Look at how we're playing, and we're playing and looking for the perfect opportunity. They're sitting in a kind of mid block. It's our job to break that down. He definitely could come to the ball a little bit more and create more. But other than that, like here, we're playing around him. A lot of what we're doing is playing around him. We're not really playing to him or using him. There, we play him in behind, and he gets a corner. But we're not really playing the ball to him. To be fair, I don't know what more he can do. I feel like if he gets criticised after the game, he's going to feel a little bit hard done by. Do you know what I'm saying? Yokozuna looking spooky. Although we haven't been the most creative, we've had more than enough to go and get goals in this game. 100%. Do you know what I mean? The finishing just hasn't been there. We've created ourselves opportunities, and again, we've set up in a way. Arteta's so defensive first. We set up in a way that Nottingham Forest haven't created anything, but we need to create more. It's another good corner. York has the first touch of Savile at times. York Tui, he's not technical, but it's our job to create opportunities for him to score. If I will criticize him, if we are creating things, if we're creating opportunities, see like Darwin Núñez, if we're putting the ball on the plate and he's not finishing, then I'm going to criticize him 100%. But everything else other than that, that's not his job. Do you know what I'm saying? His job is just to be a bagsman, and Arteta needs to create a system that feeds him. At the moment, the ball's just going around him. Everything's just going around. We're using him to suck in the defense, and then we're just playing around him. So he's not really going to get involved. Back post corner, and again, Nottingham Forest just too solid defending their box. Another corner. I think this system, striker like Kane would be perfect. I mean, Kane's one of the best strikers of his generation, so any system is perfect for Kane. Kane's a baller in any system. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a good corner from Eze. Put it right on the keeper's head. Noni Madueke again. We just couldn't find the finish. Another corner for Arsenal. We're really, really, really knocking on the door. Madueke's played really well. Yeah, sometimes you've got to help yourself, and at the moment, every touch is a jewel. Yeah, the touches aren't great, but he's getting like 5 touches a half. Need to send Gok to Saudi, but we can see now. I'm not just being like some Arteta defender, but I can see now why he was looking at Gyökeres thinking, maybe Shesko's the one. Even though Gyökeres has scored all these goals, maybe Shesko feels like he'll drop a bit deeper into the 10, create a link up, do you know what I'm saying, get on his bike, etc., etc. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, oh, you're fucking ahead of me, blood. Oh, my days. Man, them are ahead of me. Fuck, you 1-0 Arsenal anyway, blood. Fake reactions for YouTube and that, but I ain't even seen it. You man, spoiler alert, blood. You man. I want to see if this goal comes from like a direct. It can't be from a direct header. Someone's got to knock it down, and Zubimendi's on the edge of the box or something. Oh, what a goal! Oh my word, what a finish! What a finish that was! What a goal that was! Zubimendi, wow, wow. And you know what? He's not been playing well. I'll be honest. Either I think he's probably been the worst performer in this half. I would say. Do you know what I mean, you lot tell me if I'm being unfair. I think he's probably been the worst performer this half. But wow, well, and obviously Gyökeres as well. Between him and Gyökeres, but what a strike that was! I want to see that again. That is an absolute bullet of a strike. Oh, here we go. Here's the reverse angle. Woo! Man, them, have you seen the reverse angle? That is mad, bro. What a goal. That is a serious strike. Bro, if we can get obviously, I mean, this is like that's not something that he's gonna do on a regular basis, but you know, if we can have that and Rice in a team, but that's what we've needed. We've needed someone who we know what Arsenal can do. And to be fair to Nottingham Forest, I'll be really fair. They've been very, very good at shutting down the box and just locking up the box. They know we're going to look for the corners. They know how good we are from that. But they've actually done really, really well at locking down the corners. But we had to bring something different. And we had to, when we're struggling to break a team down, it's like, are we going to be able to get shots off from distance? Who's going to step up and be the shooter? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what he did there. I think we've played good football this half. I'm not going to lie. I know people say we're boring and all the rest of it. I think that we've played good football. Um, I don't think we've played a lot of boring football. The first 10, 15 minutes a little bit boring. The second 15 minutes we looked a lot more progressive, but the finishing just wasn't there, and they packed the box with players. But that is exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need, because what that can do is pull them out a little bit, make them come and chase the game. Because let's be clear, they are happy. Nottingham Forest are more than happy to leave the Emirates Stadium with a point. And of the 19 teams in the Premier League that we're going to play, maybe four really, really, really want to, maybe five really, really, really want to take 3 points from Arsenal. The rest, the other 14, are probably at least 10 of them are happy to just go, we go to the Emirates and got a point, job done. So they don't need to do too much, you know what I'm saying? So, same with most big clubs, but especially Arsenal, because we're just in the limelight of these, like, we're the guys competing for trophies and whatever, whatever. Even though Chelsea have won trophies now, I'm not trying to disrespect them, man, but that's what it is. A lot of teams will come to us and think, nah, let's just get out of here for a point. What a strike that is. That's his first goal for Arsenal as well, isn't it? That is going to be on replay for many, many years. Many, many years. What a debut goal that is. I want 5 or 10 more of them this season. Football fans are greedy blood. Good strike, but I want more of those. I want more of those, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Honestly, Murillo's just getting some treatment. Eze on the ball. Yeah, I think we need to get Eze on the ball a little bit more. Is Trossard on the bench as well? I think this is a game where Trossard could be really effective off the bench. Murillo's come back on, but he's not moving like he's not moving very very confidently. Gabriel, is he gonna go for a shot? He kind of does. Did you see a new way versus Ahmed Aliyev is going to be streamed on Top Rank's Facebook page? No, I didn't even see that. Shane's covering that tomorrow. Shane's covering the new way versus Ahmed Aliyev tomorrow, so that's gonna be a good fight. I think Inoue wins, but again, he's coming off the canvas to win because I don't know if he can stay. I don't know if he can stay off the canvas necessarily. Calafiori, big throw into the box. Wanyeri does well. Zubamendi goes for it again. Zubamendi's gone for it again. The same shot. He's gone for it again. That one a little bit over, but he's gone for it again. Will the real Zubamendi please stand up? He's because if imagine if he scored that again. Oh my god. It's confidence in it. Football's all confidence because there's no way in the world if he misses that first one, he's going for that second one. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's all about confidence. It looks like Murillo's probably going to get subbed off, which is actually kind of positive for us because he's a very solid defender, and they've been really really good in the air. Nottingham Forest defending their box in the air, they've been really solid because Matt Sells hasn't been the best from the corners, but he's had a lot of cover and a lot of defense from his defenders and some of his midfielders as well. But that's going to be the end of the day for Murillo. So hopefully nothing too serious. He's walking and stuff. So don't look too serious, but he can't continue today. Yes, Alexis. What are you saying? I was just telling the man you're going to be here tomorrow. Alexis is going to be here tomorrow. Shane covering the Manchester derby, and that is a game that can really go either way. I actually struggle to make anyone a favourite. Do you know what I'm saying? Because United play shit football and lose, and Man City. It's just a gamble with Man City really this season. Handball in there for Wanyeri, a little bit unfortunate. Everyone will get injured under Ange. Why do you say everyone will get injured under Ange? Why do you say that? Yeah, shouts and pouts as Lex likes to call him. Don't forget we've got the second channel as well, Only Facts Extra. We got a lot of mad shit coming out of that channel. We got a lot of content coming out on that channel that's a bit wild. Shouts merch coming soon. Yeah, you got to chat to him, man. Get them 10% royalties. That was a decent touch from Jokeres. You man are haters as well, because when Jokeres makes a bad touch, screaming about his touch, you know what I'm saying? It's high line for life. What do you mean? We play a high line, and our centre backs don't always get injured. We play quite a high line. Liverpool play a high line. High line don't mean centre backs get injured necessarily. It's almost a good kick from David Raya. I've been really impressed with Noni Madueke as well. I was really, really impressed. Nottingham Forest coming forwards. It was Zubamendi's tackle. Oh, what is that for a cross? What is that for a cross? And Doy is better than that. Not the same as Ange football. Yeah, yeah, I guess. I guess so. I think Arsenal should probably be 2-0 up at this point. I know that we're 1-0 up, and I know that we got a wonder goal, but I do feel like the football we've played some really good football. I do. I don't think that we've been boring. Actually, I feel like we've gone at them. We've gone for it a little bit. It's lovely from Wanyeri. That is just really, really lovely football from Wanyeri. And that's poor from Jurien Timber to fuck it up straight away. But what I'm saying is, how is that because of the manager? Okay, players got injured, but how is that because of the manager specifically? Like, what's the link? Players get injured all the time. What's the correlation between Ange and players getting injured? You know what I'm saying? If they score from this is on Jury and Timber because it was just poor giving the ball away like that. Lex, it's that rat Edu. It's Edu, mate. I'm telling you. I saw him on the screen earlier, and I was like, "Mate, get this rat out of here, bro." Corner comes in, well defended from Arsenal. I do kind of want a bit more from Eze. I don't know if I'm being unfair. We haven't played a lot down his side, and he's doing everything he can to chase down the ball. But I just want a little bit more. When it does get on the ball, I want a little bit more. Is that Ndoye? Forest now just trying to put together something of an attack. Arsenal just containing them well, but you can tell what they're looking for. They're looking for that cross. His playing style, always running to cover up the spaces. Yeah, maybe people said the same about Klopp. I agree, Alexis. I want Forest to get relegated this year. I hate their fan base. How many Nottingham Forest fans do you know? That's me. I only know like two or three. That's a lovely touch from Gyökeres, coming and dropping in, popping it out wide to Calafiori. And with just the communication in the team seems awful. There's so many little passes that they're just not reading or not communicating to each other. And it's really basic stuff, some of this. That's brilliant. Who's just won that ball back? That was really, really good. That's Wanyeri dropping in and winning the ball back. Mosquera, can he find Madueke? He can. Madueke, can we just put this ball across the box? Just put the ball across the box. Madueke's had some really good success isolating the defender, but now he's forcing it. Do you know what I mean? The opportunity was there. The defender knows you've cooked him, so the defender's diving in really aggressively. Just bop that ball across the box now. You've set the trap. It's like in boxing. You're jabbing to the body, to the body. He's dropped his hands. Go for the overhand right. Do you know what I mean? The opportunity is there now. I find Arsenal tend to do this, just get into a rhythm of doing the same thing over and over again. And they're very good at that. They're very robotic at that. But when it comes to just needing a bit of creativity or something a little bit different, a little bit off the beaten path, they really struggle to show that initiative. Do you know what I mean? Noni's end product is so shit. Do you know what it is? This game, his end product hasn't been terrible. Like he's beat the fullback 1-on-1, and he's delivered a cross into the box several times, which has been decent. But he needs to show some initiative and do something a bit different. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why you see sometimes Saka gets that goal on his right foot. Everyone knows he wants to cut in. Everyone knows he wants to cut in. Everyone knows he wants to cut in. Then he feints on the left, goes right. Not all the time. He obviously wants to cut in, but he's gonna just show a little bit of variety sometimes to keep the defender on their toes. It's good football from Forest though. Now coming forward, Nico Williams crosses straight into Timber. Ravage, what are you saying? 100% Ahmad. I don't mind who goes down. Just they don't deserve a good season for that. What about what they did with What about the Crystal Palace situation? Nearly half time. I think Arsenal probably deserve to be a couple of goals up. Forest haven't really challenged the goalkeeper too much. They're just putting together a little bit of football now, but really have struggled to hold the ball for very long. Mascara, good tackle. Gibbs White just gets that shot away, but it's very, very wide. That was a great one too. Arsenal just caught on their heels a little bit. That's really poor. There are 6 Arsenal shirts and just 2 Nottingham Forest attackers. It's obviously going to be a 1-2. It's obviously going to be a 1-2 through to Morgan Gibbs White. Obviously, why no one can see that, I don't know. 7 minutes of added time though. It's time for a second goal. Pass from Zubamendi is a little bit short to Eze. Zubamendi's not really, other than the goal, he's just not impressed me at all. And I know that people are going to say Gyökeres as well, but Gyökeres, the game is kind of passing him by because of the style of game. Zubamendi's in the midfield. He's in the game. The game is very much playing. He's very much involved. He's got loads more opportunity to impact the game than than Gyökeres does. Ethan Wanyeri is just brilliant. He's literally he's like he's perfect. Like he just rarely makes the wrong decision. Madueke again cut in. Cross is not the best. He's got the defender on toast though, Madueke. He's got the defender on toast. He's beating the defender every time. Like he's got that. That's going to happen. He's gonna get the ball, turn, run at the fullback, and bun the defender. That is going to happen. But then what does he do afterwards? Now that they're doubling and tripling up on him, he's getting the Saka treatment because they know that fullback can't handle him 1-on-1. I don't know how most fans rate Gibbs White. Gibbs White's a very, very good player. He's a very good player. Wow, what's your beef with Gibbs White? Ambitious ball out to Eze from Wanieri. I don't mind it. Can Eze try to come deep to receive the ball, spin and start getting in behind and get beyond the defender so the ball doesn't have to get to his feet. The ball can just get in behind and he can just run in and get and be straight in on goal. That's what we need to start doing. We're trying to break their defensive line with passes, but we could break their defensive line of runs as well. But we're just not even trying to do that. It's a lovely pass from Raya out to Timber. Timber, can you travel now? Timber, can you travel? Eze now. He hasn't shown me too much. To the byline. Can you find a cross? He does find a cross. Gyökeres almost in. That's exactly what Gyökeres needs. That there is how I'm going to judge whether Gyökeres is successful or not. Not down to, um, you know, how we've judged him so far. If he's not in the game, I can't judge him. There is a responsibility for him to get himself into the game, but that's what I'm looking at. If the fullbacks are getting to the byline, putting the ball across the 18-yard box, and Gyökeres is there battling with defenders, that's where I'm judging him. I think people realise that strikers are less involved in the football part of the attacking. They are there to score. Players like Haaland, Victor, Shesko, for example. That's because Klopp is taking Cruyff's system and the media saying everyone has to play that way. Again, Gyökeres did well there just to dispossess the defender. He's doing a lot of intangible stuff, Gyökeres. He's pinning defenders. I mean, he's linking up with little 1-2s. He's doing a lot of intangible stuff, but I'm just rating him differently. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. People don't realize. Yeah. Do you know what it is as well, Lex? You're coming off of a generation where Messi, they grew up watching Messi, who can score goals and get involved in the creativity. You're coming off a generation of Kane, who scores goals and is involved in the creativity as well. Do you know what I mean? Neymar's and Mbappe's, maybe more Neymar than Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? The nine is not always going to be involved in the creation. You could look up the stats of how many times have we tried to pass the ball to Gyökeres. People are saying his touch is dodgy, but a lot of the touches are like contested touches. He hasn't received the ball. It's not like he's received the ball in 10 yards of space and his touch of dodgy. He's received the ball in a situation where the ball's contested. Good tackle from Calafiori. Why are they so out of shape? Where's Timber? Oh, Timber's in the the centre back position. I don't know what that was for. I don't know what the refs flagged for there. It's got in our favour, but fair enough. 100%. You look at the great scores in the Premier League: Shearer, Owen, Cole, who could play at times but also be missing and get a goal. Yeah, I mean Sheringham and Shearer, and that's what they made their game off of. Put the ball in the box and I'll score. Do you know what I mean? We haven't created anything for Gyökeres to do. So I'm not judging him saying, oh, he's not been involved. I'm looking at Zubamendi and saying you've been involved in a lot of the game. The game's been played very much to more of your benefit. But that's half time. That is half time. 1-0 Arsenal. Do you know what I mean, let's break this game down. 15 minutes to go until the second half. Don't forget, obviously, we've got the boxing tonight as well. Can't complain, really. The only thing I would say is that I do feel like we should have another goal. I do feel like we should be 2 up. I feel like the wingers look good. The wingers, do look good. Let me go through the team so far and talk about what I've seen. David Raya's been solid. Hasn't had to do too much in terms of goals. Mosquera, the back four has been good. A lot of stuff is coming down this right hand side, and I think that started with Erdegaard. Erdegaard obviously is left footed and he's a 10. He wants to open his body up and play a kind of quarterback role. So what he does, in order to open up his body and use his left foot, he drifts to the right hand side, because if he drifts to the left hand side, he can maybe cross the ball, but he's not a guy that's going to do step overs and beat a defender or anything like that. So he wants to open his body up, and then he can play the cross, he can play the cute little driven reverse pass through to Saka. He wants to, so that's why Erdegaard, you'll always see, even when he plays 10 and he's in the center, he naturally drifts wide, which is why people like someone like an Eze, who can go on both feet. Someone like Ethan Wanieri can go on both feet, even though Ethan Wanieri is left foot. So that makes a lot of the attack come down the right hand side. And to be fair, this is the best 45 minutes I've seen of Madueke in an Arsenal shirt so far, early in the season. But he has the defender absolutely on toast. Who is that? Morato. Morato, number 4, is on toast. He is on toast. And for me, again, it's a shit game for the neutral. I don't care about that. I'm an Arsenal fan, we're winning. I don't care about neutrals. So for me, my thing is like, okay, Madueke, you now know that you have Morato on toast. So what are you going to do with that information? Once I know that I've got a fullback on toast and I know I can bun him, I know I can drop the shoulder and I'm gone past him, it's now my relationship to build with the striker to say, okay, Michael Perkins said it in the chat and he was right. He said Noni Madueke's end product isn't good. And I don't want to criticize Noni Madueke because he's played well. And I think it's unfair for a player to play well and criticize him. But I'm not criticizing just to criticize. I'm criticizing to say, here's how we can win this game, or here's how we can be better as a team, right? I'm supporting all the Arsenal players. It's not just like generic negativity. But one thing that I will say Gyökeres is doing wrong, or one thing I'm not happy about with regards to Gyökeres, is the physicality. He is not anywhere near the level of physicality that I expected for someone of his physical stature. Do you know what I mean? The guy's almost built like Drogba, but has no physicality. And the reason I bring that up is because when Noni gets to the byline and puts the ball across, and sometimes the ball's not the best, sometimes the shot's not the best, the end product needs to be worked on. But the first bit of getting past the fullback, I'm enjoying seeing that because when we have Saka and Martinelli can't really do that. Unless he kicks and runs, he can't really do that. Saka is better at getting past the fullback, but he's more of an interchange 1-2 type of player. I haven't had a winger for a while who's just going to stand up a player, drop the shoulder and gone. So it's really enjoyable to see that. But once he puts that ball into the box and Gyökeres is there, Gyökeres is pretty much losing the physical battle with the centre back every single time. Sometimes he can get a shot away. If Gyökeres can get a shot away, it's because he got his foot there first. If his foot is fast enough to get to the shot, he'll get a shot away. Do you know what I mean? But there will be times when you're going to have to score goals in the hustle and bustle. You're not going to have this much space free to get a shot away. You're going to be bustling and hustling with a centre back on you while you're getting that shot away. And that's an area where I think that Gyökeres needs to work on. Do you know what I mean? To be able to play football and be physical at the same time. I think he can either play football and score goals, or he can be physical. And he can't quite put the two together at this moment in time. And that, I think, is what would take him to the next level, in my opinion. You're not going to let me know if you think I'm bugging or if you understand, if I'm making sense. Because for me, that's just what's a little bit lacking at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, though, to be fair, when I've watched Man United, Benjamin Sesko can't do it yet. He can't. Do you know who can do it? Cunha. Cunha can be physical and play football at the same time. Diego Costa, perfect example. Do you know what I mean? He could be hustling and bustling and scoring goals at the same time. And it is a difficult thing to do. It is 100% a difficult thing to do. But if you're at Arsenal and you want to be winning big trophies, this is what it's going to mean. Maybe when we start the Champions League campaign, Gyökeres will look great. And I actually think that when we start Champions League, he might look fantastic. But it will be totally different going to play against Sevilla, then I don't even know. Do you know what I mean? Going to play some random team in another part of Europe than playing here in the Premier League, where all the centre backs are going to be very big, very strong, very aggressive. Do you know what I mean? That, I think, is something that I believe will take us to the next level, in my opinion. The second thing is the midfield. The midfield, obviously, this midfield is kind of a makeshift midfield, right? It's Ødegaard, Zubimendi, Marino. Ødegaard went off injured after 15 minutes, and Ethan's come on, and Ethan's been brilliant. He's looked really, really bright. I think he's given the ball away one time, but he's just looked really, really good. They can't, and in terms of one-on-ones, they can't get close to him. He looks really bright. With Zubimendi, he scored an absolute wonder goal. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on Twitter. The goal was a banger. Comes from a corner. He's waiting on the edge of the box. The ball's pumped up into the air from a defensive, and he just smashes it on the volley, and it flies in. It's a really, really good goal. But in terms of his passing, Zubimendi, the passes are still a little bit light. He doesn't really impose himself on the game. He reminds me a little bit of when Ødegaard first came, and he kind of struggled with the physicality of the game, and he kind of shied away from any physical challenges. And the league is going to be physical. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have to step up and do the physical side of the game. You're going to just have to do it because it's part of the game. In this country, it's part of the game. You're not going to be able to get away from it. And the passing for me is still just the decision making is a little bit slow. I think he'll get there because I'm actually seeing Zubimendi get better game by game by game. I'm seeing him get better, but he needs to just play that ball a little bit quicker. Sometimes he's wanting the ball and not really knowing what it is that he wants to do with the ball. He just wants the ball to want the ball. And he's standing in some positions where it almost looks like he's hiding a little bit because he's not really imposing himself or creating space or look like he's demanding the ball. He only wants the ball in certain moments, and that's not gonna work in a team like Arsenal. Doing you've got to go and impose yourself on the game and be a little bit more involved. But the midfield's been solid. It's been solid. What we've been able to do with Marino, Zubamendi, and Wanyeri is just retain the ball. And actually, before the injury, I said earlier that it looked like Erdegaard maybe came back from his injury a little bit early, because every physical contact he just didn't like it. Every time there was some sort of physical contact, he looked like he was going to get injured. But what I did like about what I saw from Erdegaard is it was very progressive. It was very, very progressive, forward thinking. The passing decision wasn't always the right decision, but he was constantly looking to go forwards. He was constantly looking to break the lines, and that's much more positive from Erdegaard. He can sometimes dribble the ball forward and just be a little bit ponderous on the ball. But I thought he looked good before he got injured. Since he's come off and there's been Wanyeri, it's been the same, but even more attacking. And the attack under Wanyeri is just quicker. He's much more direct. Erdegaard stops the ball dead while he assesses the game. Wanyeri just drives the ball forwards. And we've got now several players that are driving the ball forward. When Wanyeri gets the ball, forwards. When Eze gets the ball, forwards. When Madueke gets the ball, forwards. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when Rice is in there or Erdegaard is in there, sideways, while they're kind of processing, can we go forwards or not, and kind of assessing the risk and assessing the danger, they're kind of going side to side while they assess, is there an opportunity to go forwards? With Wanyeri, Madueke, there's no assessment. We are going forwards. That is a fact. We're going to drive the game forwards. And that's really refreshing. Rice is on the bench. If we're 2 goals up, 3 goals up, maybe he can come on and just secure the game a little bit. But it is really refreshing to see young attacking players just wanting to get the ball forwards, to be honest with you. And I said when Madueke came in, he'll probably be our best winger at one-on-one, standing up his fullback and driving the ball in one-on-one. Because Saka can do it at times, but it's not his strong suit. And Martinelli just point blank can't do it. He just can't do it. Trossard more, he wants to cut in and shoot. But Madueke, right out to the byline, pull the fullback all the way out, and then bun him. Do you know what I mean? So going into the second half, they'll probably double up on him. With Callum Hudson-Odoi dropping back, and that should create some space for Timber. We need to work out a plan of how we get Gyökeres into the game and how we best support Gyökeres. What we need to do is find, in basketball, I think they've got something like a sweet spot, like a spot where nowadays players can score from everywhere, but back in the day, there'd be like a sweet spot of like, if you get the ball to this player in this space, they're going to score pretty much 100% of the time. We don't know what that sweet spot looks like for Gyökeres. Where does he want the ball? What's best for him? Do you mean? Does he want to back up a defender and pin him? Does he want to touch it off and spin and get in behind? Can we drive balls across the box? What do you want here? Do you know what I mean? I feel like Havertz is not as technical is not as good a goal scorer. He's not as good a finisher as Gyökeres, but just being more adept, more used to the physicality of the league. If they both played in the 9 for 10 games for Arsenal this season, Havertz might get more goals, and they might be ugly goals and scrappy goals and flicks and touches and deflections, and that's a lot of what it might be. That's what it might be. Alan Shearer's goal catalogue is not full of Alan Shearer dribbling with the ball and doing step overs and cutting in and top corner finishes. There's some great finishes in there. He's a great goal scorer, but there's got to be a lot of balls into the box, a lot of headers, a lot of knockdowns, a lot of kind of what we would consider by today's standards to be quite scrappy goals. But this is the Premier League, and you take the goals where you can, because nobody, Man City with Haaland, even after his first season, Haaland still gets lots of goals, but they don't just create chances like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And always going to win in the second season, maybe championship next season. Yeah, facts. I mean, look, they're 1-0 down to Arsenal, and Arsenal are second favourites to win the league. So it's not disastrous. This is a game they're expected to lose. Do you know what I mean? This is not one of the games of the season where they got their fixture list and said, right, Arsenal or the Emirates, this is the one we're going to win. So we'll see. We can't judge Ange too early, but it would be funny. 100% Nick. Arteta and the team has to get Gyökeres into these positions. Yeah, they got to find what works for him. He's got to meet them halfway. He has to, and he's starting to. I see him doing things like, when we talk about his technicality, he's not a great technical player. So when you got to really think, he's not Harry Kane. If you're struggling to break a team down, Harry Kane can drop into the midfield, receive the ball from the DM, pop it wide to the winger, turn, get on his bike, have the winger play the ball in behind. Harry Kane's running onto it, chips the goal. Gyökeres technically can't do that stuff. So, we've got to be sensible about what we're asking him to do, because if he tries to drop into the DM position and pop the ball wide like Rice does or something like that, there's a chance we lose the ball and then we're under pressure. And he also doesn't seem to have the legs. He doesn't seem to actually have the athleticism. You guys got Shesko, and again, I keep going back to it. Arteta wanted Shesko. Andre Berta wanted Gyökeres. And when we look at Shesko, he looks far more athletic. He looks better in the air. He looks better running wise. People are laughing in the chat saying Gyökeres looks like he can't run. And for me, one of the big disappointments for Gyökeres is that he's not very good in the air. And one of the ways we're going to get the ball to him in this league is crosses into the box, because we're going to play against a deep lying we're going to play against a low block probably 70% of the time, more than 50% of the time this season in the Premier League. It will be against a low block. So he's going to have to learn to create space for himself. He's got to either create space for himself or create space for the other players around him. Zubamendi can get a shot away. Erdegaard can get a shot away. Rice, Wanyeri, Marino, Saka, all these players, Eze, all these players can score. We've got a ton of good quality goal scorers. So there's a lot that he can bring to the team, even if he's not getting goals. And those are the things that I'm going to judge him on, not just the goals. We've got to take a more kind of holistic view of football. But he has to not feel sorry for himself. I think there's a good chance that he can sort of become a victim of his own mindset and sort of start to feel sorry for himself a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And I think that kind of almost happened with Darwin Núñez at Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? He had a few big high profile misses. He hit the post a few times. And it was like, oh, poor me, poor me. Same as Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea. Poor me, poor me. No, what can you do? Okay, if you're not scoring goals, what can you do to affect the game positively? Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Do you know what I mean? They're coming out for the second half. I can't believe I was talking for 15 minutes just like that, but they're coming out for the second half now. But, that's what I'm looking for. Zubamendi, his passing needs to be better. There's a lot of passes that are quite slow. This isn't Spain. If you play the pass nice and slow, someone is going to take it. Someone's going to nip in and take it. And that's against Sunderland. That's against anybody in the league. It doesn't matter their league position. They're going to nick in and take it. We don't have that kind of time, to dawdle on the ball. We need to know what we're going to do 2 or 3 steps ahead of time. Do you know what I mean? It's like driving. You need to know exactly what it is that you want to do 2 or 3 steps ahead of time. You can't get to the exit and then just start looking around and pondering what it is that you want to do. But Gyökeres can't feel sorry for himself. That's the main thing I want to see. I want to see him look positive. A lot of sport is about body language. Project, even if you're feeling a bit like, oh, damn, the game's passed me by. Project that you are in this game and you fancy it and you're up for it. And relish these moments, relish those centre-back battles. I always think about Diego Costa. He wants those battles. Bring me those battles. Bring me those scalps. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a real bastard of a player, but he was so good for that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I would want. Maybe Gyökeres is a little bit nice. A little bit too much of a nice guy at the moment. I need a proper bastard up top for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? But let's see. We've got goal scorers. We've just kicked off in the second half. And, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh saying I wish that we should be 2-0 up, because maybe we shouldn't be 2-0 up because we haven't really tested the goalkeeper, but we've created a lot kind of in that just in and around the 18-yard box. A lot of it hasn't converted into real shots on target, but I think we've created more than enough to have got more shots on target than we've actually had, if that makes sense. So that's sort of my viewpoint on it. Ethan Wanyeri again, look, coming all the way from 10, dropping into the midfield. Ball straight over the top from Calafiori. Ball across the box. It's Gyökeres. 2-0. Just like that. Just like that. We need to break the defensive line. Gyökeres' first goal at home in front of the home crowd. 2-0 Arsenal. And what I say, that right there is what I haven't seen from Madueke yet. That right there is what I haven't seen from Madueke yet. 80, shut up, blood. We're not talking to you, blood. Are you bored, bruv? Are you bored, bruv? We're 2-0 up at home, blood. What are you talking about? What are you talking? You can't chat to me. What are you talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? That's a good goal. That's a great goal. Eze's first assist at home as well. He's offside. I think he's going to be ruled out for offside. Oh, is that going to be offside? Good pass from Eze. It's a good ball over the top from Calafiori as well. It's a lovely pass from Eze. Just lets the ball do the work and just hits it first time. Is that going to VAR, or is the shit guy finally scores? He's scored two already, you idiot. What do you mean he finally scores? I'm just waiting to see if that's offside. Maduki and Gyokaku, shut up. Oh, it's not. Okay, man. I thought you know what? Yeah, I waited. I thought that was offside. So obviously I've got the audio turned down in it. So I really thought that was the chance that was offside, but that was very very close. But again, you know this is what the boy Calafiori does, man. This is what the boy Calafiori does, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. He did it last time. He did it last time when we needed a goal, and we literally came out from second half, and I think he did the same thing straight away, ball over the top. Do you know what I mean? Break those defensive lines. That's what we need to do. And that's what I'm talking about. Like Gyökeres not feeling sorry for himself. These opportunities will come. And how do we get this player into the team? 2-0 Arsenal. Here's the Arsenal hate. Mad because their hate watch hasn't worked out. Didn't look like they checked. They definitely should have checked. They definitely should have checked. I mean, that's their someone's getting paid six figures to sit there and check, and they're not even checking. Like football's a money launder thing because you should be checking. That's your whole job. Your whole job is to check the VAR. Do you know what I'm saying? Man like Glock Lesnar. Keep the slander names coming, bro, because he's got 3 goals in the Prem now. So I'm on record as saying I wanted 15 to 20 goals from Gyökeres in all competitions. I'm on record as saying that when we signed him. Clip it. 15 to 20 goals in all competitions this season. That's what that I would consider to be a good season. And it's the 13th of September, and when the league's barely been back a month, and he's on 3 goals. So you can say what you want, he's on 3 goals. So let's go. Was this 3 goals in 4 games or something? Good tackle from Gabriel. Good tackle from Gabriel there. And again, look now. I said this is going to make them have to come out. Now look how attacking Nottingham Forest are going to have to be to come and get something from this game, because although they would have left with a draw, they're now at risk of getting slapped 4-5-0, which they don't want, especially with a new manager coming in. So they're going to have to step up and start going for a little bit more attack. And that's going to create opportunities for Arsenal to go and score. But are Arsenal going to take those opportunities? That's the question. Corner comes in for Nottingham Forest. Arsenal get it away. So Arsenal were like the best team in the world when they're on top. Do you know what I mean? But what Liverpool have that Arsenal don't is not just the ability to grind out a result, because Arsenal can kind of grind out a result, but the ability to not kind of feel sorry for themselves and read the room a little bit better. It's lovely from Nottingham Forest there, just trying to bully Ethan Wanyeri, and when he's just too slick and too silky. He's not even what I love about Wanyeri there. They've tried to get physical with him. He's not. He's just like, I'm not going to get physical with you. I'm just here to play football. I'm not going to try and out ego you. You're a bigger, stronger man than me. Fine. Gabriel's been so good. Zubamendi. Zubamendi looks tiny because our team's so big. Pause. Zubamendi looks tiny. Like he's dropping the shoulder and knocking the ball, yeah, and he's just not going anywhere. It's like, but because everyone else is just massive, like it's mad. Eze and Calafiori need 8 more goals like that this year. 100%. Mosquera, I don't know what that pass was, my brother. I don't know what that was. Marino, come on, release that ball. Eze's on. Calafiori's there. Eze's on his bike again. Calafiori, what? Calafiori, why? Why are you waiting so long to release the ball, my bro? Why? Wow, the ball is just deflected off Chris Wood. The ball has just deflected off Chris Wood and hit the crossbar. The ball's just. Amadou said Chris Wood is a good striker. He is a good striker, but man, bro, the ball deflected off his chest and hit the crossbar. Man is saying he's a good striker. Gyökeres has scored 3 goals. Man is saying he's shit. What's going on? What? Respect my ballers, man. Again, they doubled up on Madueke, but that's good from Wanyeri. This is what I want to see. The shot wasn't the best, but we know what he's capable of, and that's all come from Calafiori just taking too long to release the ball. I don't know what he was trying to do. You've definitely said some slanderous stuff about Gyökeres as well. 100%, 100%. I can't quote it, but you've definitely Lex. Find the clip. Let Alexis find the chat, man, because he's definitely said something for sure. And you know what I like about this result as well? Like Nottingham Forest are not title contenders or anything, but they are a top half team. Do you know what I mean? This isn't some shit team. They're a top half team. They're a team that will be looking to try and get into top 8. Do you know what I'm saying? And if if we can get a goal or two more and really put them to the sword and look like a 3-4-5-0, Nottingham Forest are like a good scalp. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got your big six, and then you've got your sort of Newcastle and VAR did check it and it was onside. Yes. Calafiori loves that ball over the top. That ball over the top, 100%. Lexus said, "Nah, Ahmed, you've been cussing Gyökeres the past few streams." But yeah, you've got your traditional big six, and just outside of that, you've got like your Newcastle, Brighton, Villa, Jermaine. But I don't think Nottingham Forest are quite their level, but they're just the level below that. Like it's a good, if you can go and get a clean sheet against them and put 4 or 5 goals past them, I think that's really impressive. When we did it against Leeds, it's like, yeah, but they're Leeds, they just come up from the Championship, etc. But Nottingham Forest are not an easy team to go and beat. Let's call it 3-0 if we can go get another goal, you know. And now look at Yoker. I can just see look at that Gyökeres closing down and winning the throw on very high up, and that's well, it gave away a throw on actually, but closing the ball down, he's immediately pressing with so much more belief. You know, I could just see it. I could see him just starting to maybe start feeling a bit sorry for himself. Oh, I'm signing for a big club and it's not going my way, and I could see the overlap interview walking in the park with Gary Neville already. Man, don't want to hear that. Do you know what I'm saying? Step up. It's good football from Arsenal to play out. We play some really good stuff to get out of those defensive positions. Now we're getting into the final third. Let's see sensible decision making. The fullback's flown into a challenge against Madueke there. Yeah, he's definitely being a lot more aggressive and hitting. He's hitting Madueke early. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely from Eze. Marino's in. Ball across the box. Oh, this skied from Wanyeri. Absolutely skied. Unlucky. He's got to do better with that. He's got to do better with that. Michael Perkins said, I'll keep the same energy for him. It's all good scoring and tapping, but is he going to maintain this throughout the season? Because 10 minutes ago, you were cussing his overall game. I wasn't cussing his overall game 10 minutes ago. Go back and look on the stream. I literally said, I'm not going to cuss him. I literally explained why I'm not going to cuss him. I said, the team is not playing to his strengths. So he hasn't played the best, but I'm not going to judge him based on this. If you see, like with Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool were cutting through teams like Arsenal did there, playing the ball across the box, and Darwin Núñez was missing it. That's where I'm judging the striker because that's your main bread and butter. This is your main skill set. This is your main responsibility. Calafiori, ball into the box, a little bit overhit. Madueke keeping it alive. We've got to find a shot on target here. See, like, there, Madueke's gone to the byline. That's what I'm talking about. Madueke has Gyökeres right next to him. He decides to run at the fullback, do some step overs, and pass the ball to no one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to judge him if he misses that chance. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm judging the striker, yeah. I'm judging the striker off of his striking ability. I'm not judging the striker based off of how good he is, dropping deep, receiving the ball, doing a sombrero reverse flick. I'm not judging him based off that. All that stuff is cool. All that stuff is cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Man United played Arsenal, and when the cross came into Cunha and Cunha received it on the little flick half turn, Man United, yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. That was sick. Did you score though? Did he score? Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging Cunha's a baller. Don't get me wrong, but did you score? That's the conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm judging the striker. He's not going to do the fancy stuff. It's just not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So there's no point starting a narrative from there on how good is he at this or that because he's not going to do it, bro. Look at that. He's won the ball, drive 10 yards, switch the play to Madueke. Can we find a shot? Madueke goes back to him and it's come off the post. That's good play. That's good number 9 play. That is good number 9 play. He's won the ball. He's run against the fullback. He's played it to the winger. He's run round and overlapped, and then he's come off the cross. It's come off the post. That's great number 9 play. Very unlucky. Good number 9 play. Like I said, no amount of goals these men can score will make us think they're good footballers. Madueke is extremely limited. That's not what I'm discussing with you. That's not what I'm discussing. Madueke is not as good technically as Saka or Cole Palmer. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not. But I can only now he's a player that plays for Arsenal. I can only judge him off of what he can do. All I want from Madueke is to beat the fullback, cut the ball across the box, and assist Gyökeres. If he does that 20 times a season, brilliant. Brilliant. Happy days. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no point then saying, but Palmer's better. We know Palmer's better. Of course Palmer's better than Madueke. Of course he is. Madueke wasn't my first choice of winger. When we got him, I was like, bro, why are we signing Madueke for 60 million? I didn't get it. But now he's here. I'm laying out how I'm judging these players. Do you know what I'm saying? I wish we had someone to tap in 15 times a season. Lex, do you understand what I'm saying? And every club has those players. Arsenal now moving through the gears. Eze, can we find a ball? That's a great cross from that's a great cross from Calafiori. That I'm judging that right there. I'm judging Gyökeres for that because that cross is brilliant from Calafiori and he doesn't gamble for it. Let me see it again from a different angle and see if he could have got there. Maybe it's a little bit far away, but he should gamble for that anyway. He should gamble for that. Do you mean if you're a hungry number 9, you're gambling for that? This 29 has Calafiori on toast, bro. He's who's 29 for them? Oh, Bakwa. Yeah. You lot was someone was saying earlier in the chat, watch out for Bakwa. Exactly, Ahmad. Haaland isn't a baller, but he scored a lot of goals. Exactly. There's no point saying Haaland comes and scores 20 goals. There's no point saying, well, he's not technically as good as Roberto Firmino was. And Liverpool believe loads of Man United fans believe that Pogba was the best technical midfielder, the best player they've signed in the post Fergie era. So what? All my Liverpool friends think that Thiago is the best player they've signed in the Klopp era, the best technical player. So what? Pogba was always injured. He showed it at times, but he never hit the heights. And Thiago never hit the heights. So if Marino comes, Marino could have a better career at Arsenal than Pogba had at Man United. He's not as good, obviously, but so what? This is a results. It's a results business. It's a good tackle from Mosquera. Again, for me, Arsenal just letting a few opportunities go where we could be getting more shots on target, and we're not quite getting them on target. Do you know what I mean? F Texas said, I feel like Gyok is like a guy from a 1930s propaganda magazine promoting eugenics, built like a bricklayer, yet has zero tech. Yeah, but a lot of them big stocky, a lot of them big dons ain't got tech. Do you know what I'm saying? You think of like technical ballers as being more of your slim, slight Neymar type of build players. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what big wedge brothers are normally like very technical. Do you know what I'm saying? Man ain't looking at Troy Deeney and Akin Fenwa for tech. Madawake's crossing has not been good. Can we find a shot here? Is Gabriel shoot? No, he doesn't. Good strength. Good strength. Madueke again. To be Nottingham Forest have defended their box really well, but I do want to see better crosses from Madueke. I will say that. Again, another just underhit pass from Zubamendi. Another soft underhit pass from Zubamendi. Rooney, Henry, Ronaldo, CR7, Messi, Kane were all football players who played up top. Victor is a centre forward. Ibrahimovic is technical. Yeah, but Ibrahimovic is like an outlier. Do you mean how many Ibrahimovics are there that are 6'2" and mad technical? There's not that many. Eze, great feet. He's brought down, no foul. Ref, no foul for that. What? I need to see that one again. I don't know how there's no foul for that. Arsenal just containing Forest really, really well. But I do think that Forest might slowly play their way back into it. Zlatan is the exception, not the rule. 100%. How many men are 6'2", 6'3", and big like that have got tech? How many of them? Pogba, 6 foot plus with a lot of tech. Pogba's quite slim. Pogba, Zlatan, can't think of that many really. Arteta wanted Chesko as well. Could you imagine? Now we've seen Hugo Ekitike at Liverpool. Can you imagine him in this team with the hold up play and the tech that he's got? Matt Ekitike is one of them. To be fair, do you mean 6'3" and super technical? That's very rare. Madueke again to the byline and gets a corner, but there's other options. Madueke, there's other options. There's other things you can do here. No. Lex, I disagree. Isak can play. He doesn't, but he can play out wide. If Isak has got the ball out on the touchline, you feel like we're going to create something here. If Jokeres has the ball out on the touchline, I don't feel like we're going to create something. I've seen Isak dribble with good feet and technical close dribbling, dribble two or three man, rope one in and dribble through two or three man and then go on to score. Jokeres ain't doing that. Jokeres, he's categorically not to doing that. Isak is a lot more technically sound with the ball at his feet than Jokeres is. But again, you've got Isak, the players that can do that. You've got Isak, you've got Ekatike. I'll show you a clip. I'll send you a clip. There's multiple clips of him doing that, 100%. But he will interchange at times with Ekatike. He's kind of like Cody Gakpo. There are not many men that are 6 foot plus, over 6'1", 6'2", that have the tech to be able to do those kind of things. And the two that there's probably only two in the Premier League that I can think of that can do it, and Liverpool has them both: Ekatike and Isak. Haaland is not. We've already said Haaland is not a technician. He's just a goal scorer. Haaland, if you made this same statement about Haaland, I would agree with you. If you said I've not seen Haaland do anything that Gyökeres doesn't do, he's just a more proven goal scorer, then I would agree. Isak is different. Isak is different. Isak plays like Pogba. It's like at times, not all the time, but at times. Do you know what I mean? 67 minutes coming up. It looks like Arsenal going to make a couple of substitutions. I think I'm seeing Lewis Skelly coming on. Maybe this is to deal with Barker, because Barker's been just a nightmare for Nottingham Forest. And again, like I said, Arsenal just letting the game slip. Very, very, just only a little bit, but just letting the game slip. Good defending. I think that was Gyökeres as well at the front post defending that corner. Haaland does have good movement and good IQ, but Haaland is also very, very, very aggressive. Very aggressive, where Gyökeres isn't. Even if Haaland doesn't show his IQ, if you put a ball into the box and it's just Haaland and a centre back, Haaland will say, "Move, man, move. Let me get that ball. Move, man." Gyökeres ain't got that yet. He's new to the league. He ain't got that. Do you know what I'm saying? Haaland loves a battle. See, like when Gyökeres is coming off as well. Who's coming on in the 9? Getting clapped off. He got his goal. Right, now Declan Rice is coming on and Lewis Skelly's coming on. So who's going to... Oh, okay. So it's going to be Marino in the 9. Rice is going to drop into the midfield, I think. I think that's how it's going to look. Lewis Skelly's on for the left-back position. Yeah, it looks like Marino's going to go into the 9. Haaland does have good movement and good IQ, but he also plays with or played with some of the best midfielders in the world in KDB and Gundogan and these types of players who are just going to find you consistently. Mosquera's given the ball away with a couple of dodgy passes this game. Just over ambitious. 20 minutes left, and like I said, I could feel the game is sort of ebbing and flowing a little bit. Cross comes in from Barker. Barker's just really stepping up and making it really, really awkward for Arsenal. He's really, really direct, putting crosses into dangerous areas. He's not even crossing the ball to a player. He's just crossing the ball into dangerous positions. Rice gets on the half turn, spreads the ball out to Eze. Lovely pass from Rice. Eze looking for Marino, but just can't quite find him. Don't forget we're here as well for the boxing later. Shane and Alexis are going to be here for Manchester United tomorrow. A new ways boxing tomorrow as well. So plenty of content coming up as well. So make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're here, and cancelled content going out on Mondays and Thursdays on OnlyFacts Extra. Miles Lewis Skelly. I've missed watching this boy play. And he's doing the inverted thing that he likes to do. Gabriels gives away a bit of a dodgy pass. Marino dropping deep to come and receive it. Zubimendi, lovely. Now, can look? Madueke's up there, but there's no one in the 9 position. So surely slow down, find a shot or slow down. He slowed it down. Timber. Oh, Julian Timber. Declan Rice should have scored that. Declan Rice should have scored that. What time's the ring walk? I actually do not know, to be honest. I'll double check. But even when I give you the ring walk, eh, fuck knows if that's actually going to be the ring walk time. Do you know what I mean? This is saying that ring walk around about 4 a.m. UK time. So if you could work that out based on where you're based, because I know you're somewhere in Europe, but I don't know where you are. Ahmad, are you still in Europe? Are you back in Africa? One of my boys lives in Gambia, but comes over every now and again. Whenever he comes to visit London, we always play football on a Monday night. So if you're ever in London, Ahmad, I expect you to DM me and come and play football on a Monday night at 7 aside. I expect to see, because I want to see you back up the tech talk that you bring to the chat. If you're ever in London, do you know what I'm saying? Monday night football. Couple of subs for Nottingham Forest. This is a bit of a free hit for Nottingham Forest. Obviously, they've got a new manager, a lot of not just a new manager, but like lots of turmoil at the club as well. So again, bit of a free hit for them. Who's that going off? Is that Barker going off? No, it's not Sangare. Okay, cool. I was going to say if Barker was going off, I was going to celebrate. Yes, he's gone, but he's not gone, blood. Gibbs White and Sangare are off, and Gibbs White has not really covered himself in glory today, but he is a good player. I'm not going to have that he's not a good player because he definitely is. Douglas Luiz on the bench as well. Lovely between Eze and Wanyeri, and again, Eze just trying to pop that ball through, but not on the same page as Marino. Not quite clicking. Eze, obviously, we can see the talent. Not quite clicking though. 4 a.m. UK time, right? Yeah, and roughly they say this all the time, but it could go a bit longer. So we'll have to see. If Gok played 7 with you, man, he'd be seen as a bum, probably. But obviously, you got to remember, Michael, I'm a top baller, bro. I'm actually a top baller, bro. So, but sevens is different. Sevens is there's mad people that aren't good at sevens. Do you know what I'm saying? But you don't need to be good at sevens. But I'm actually not disagreeing with you, Michael. If your criticism is that he's not very technical, I agree with you. He's not a very technical player. But all I can do is judge him off of what makes sense to judge him off of, which is goals. Do you know what I mean? When he came into the club, I said I want to see 15 to 20 goals. If he scores 35 goals in a season, why do I care that he's got a shit touch? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Especially if we win a trophy. If he scores 35 goals in all comps and we won the Prem and the Champions League double, there's no point discussing his first touch. Like, there's just no point. Strikers are rarely the most technical player in the team. Very, very rarely. Yeah, he's chatting shit. It might generate. The thing is, that's a poor cross from Madueke. Madueke's actually dropped off. I feel like it might be Max Dowman time. I'm not gonna lie. Last 10-15 minutes, Madueke's just dropped the levels a little bit. With the streaming era that I'm at, you got to remember, man, don't do pay per view buys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the fights on Netflix tonight. Do you know what I'm saying? So the pay per view buys calculation is kind of thrown off a little bit. It's like calculating album sales in an era of streaming. It's not really accurate numbers. In terms of pay per view buys, it might be true that AJ and Canelo generate more than AJ and Jake Paul because Jake Paul fights are not normally on a pay per view basis. They're on Netflix, which means they're free with a Netflix subscription, which means the numbers are inflated because so many people have Netflix. Whereas with box with an actual pay per view, great feat from Eze, ball across the box. Could he find someone? It's a little bit ambitious that pass. Madueke, could he find? He wants a shot. Madueke can't get one though. He is he is right. I think AJ versus Canelo. is the but yeah, I mean it would generate more for a boxing audience, but I mean it'd be over in about 30 seconds. AJ would kill Canelo. Ethan Wanieri still going forwards. Eze finds Lewis Skelly. Arsenal just probing. I think we can get a third, and I think the team feel like we can get a third as well. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like reading the room and sensing the game and knowing, okay, we're under the cosh, let's take the pressure out of the game, or we're not under the cosh, we're actually being the aggressors. Let's press this team. And I feel like Arsenal sense that there's a goal in this game for them, a third goal. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll see you guys at the City ground when Ange Ball kicks in. Brother, I'm not gonna lie, you man are always getting smoked. You man are always getting smoked. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, like I said before, this is kind of a free hit. Do you know what I'm saying? The new manager's here. We'll see the new style, etc. Referee, we'll take that. Is that going to be a yellow card for Nico Williams? It is going to be a yellow card for Nico Williams. Bringing that's my dad, by the way, in the chat. Like I said, he's a Forest fan himself. Nico Williams has been cooked. He's been properly cooked by Madueke 100%. 100%. End of Madueke's day. Martinelli's coming on. He's been really good, Madueke. In parts. He's been really solid in parts. Definitely the first 45, he was electric. And I think this is how we're gonna have to use him. And Trossard coming on as well. Where's Trossard? I imagine is Trossard coming on for Eze? And Trossard coming on for Eze as well. It's a reasonable game for Eze. Nothing too spectacular. Reasonable game. The game wasn't really played along his side. They offer a Toma IBF eliminator against Frank Sanchez. I think that's a good fight. I do think that's a good fight. Oh, it's 3-0. It's 3-0 from Zubamendi again. It's a header from Zubamendi. It's a header from Zubamendi. And it's a well worked free kick. They laid it back to Rice. Rice thought about shooting, went to Trossard, and Trossard just put the ball to the back post. And it's an assist for Trossard with pretty much his first touch as well. Michael Perkins said, "I told you you want to be better without Rice." You did say that. I don't know that this game would have been too different if we started Rice instead of Marino, but you know, listen, you're proved right based on what we've seen today. So I can't even argue with you. We've definitely looked more solid. But some of these players, I think, this is how we use them. This is exactly how we use some of these players. And I tell you what, who's he jumped up against? Is that Nico Williams he's jumped up against? It is. It's a bad day for Nico Williams, boys. It's a bad, bad day for Nico Williams. He's been absolutely skinned, fried, kippered, sunflower oil, low calorie spray oil. Do you know what I'm saying? Petroleum jelly, whatever, bloody. He's been absolutely done by Madueke all game. And then Arsenal go and sign all these 6 foot plus giants. Do you know what I mean? They've signed Marino and they signed Rice and they signed Gyökeres and they signed all these big players. And then it's the 5'9", 5'8", 5'9" little man that comes up with the header, jumps over, towers over Nico Williams. And I've got to say, all of that comes from the confidence of that first goal. All of that comes from the confidence. Once he hit that first goal, the intensity that we saw from him was so much better. We'll talk about it in the match reaction afterwards, but 3-0 Arsenal. I really did think that Forest might offer a little bit more. I don't want to jinx it. Still 10 minutes to go. I predicted 2-1, but I thought Forest would maybe play with a little bit of freedom. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like I say, it's a free hit. I don't get why Cabot or Parker not getting a chance over Atoma. Money is the only reason, to be honest. But I agree with you. I don't think Parker should have taken the fight with Wardley. I think Parker should have forced his way. He's the mandatory, and he should have forced it. And he's a little bit too nice. Parker's a little bit like the Jokeres of the situation, talented but just a little bit too nice. You know. I agree. They haven't really offered too much. Here comes Barker coming forwards though. Miles Lewis Skelly said, "Less of that. Give me that ball, cuz." Lewis Skelly said, "Nah, brother, none of that." Cabello beat Sanchez. He can beat Atoma. I don't know. I don't know if that logically follows. Just because he beat Sanchez, he can beat Itoma. We haven't seen Itoma fight Sanchez. Itoma might knock Sanchez out with one punch. We ain't seen it yet. Martinelli coming forwards, loads of space, loads of time. There we go. He goes back to Timber. Out to Trossard again. Looks at that same cross back post, and Martinelli slips over. That should have been his ball, but he just slips over. It's unfortunate for Martinelli. It's a good ball from Trossard as well. I was in the camp of, if we're getting rid of one of these wingers, we got to get rid of Martinelli and keep Trossard, because I know Trossard's older, but what he can actually do with the ball at his feet from a technical basis is so good. We need to keep some of these players. Martinelli, I think, is you know, Arsenal fans, I think, we're known to be quite emotional and all the rest of it, but I would say, listen, we've been very patient with Martinelli. I think that we've been very patient with Martinelli. We've had him about 5-6 years or something, and he's just not developed from the player that he, that kind of kick and run style. He's not developed technically at all. And great feet from Wanyeri. Lovely, lovely feet from Wanyeri. He did lose the ball in the second phase, but was good feet. Forest coming forward now. I think Frank hopes Wardley beats Parker. As remember, Frank fell out with Parker years back. I don't think so. I mean, he promotes both of them, and in boxing, people fall out of each other all the time. That's just the nature of the business. He'll want whoever's going to generate more money to win. Do you know what I'm saying? I reckon Frank put in his all into securing Parker the Usyk fight. Hope Frank. No, that makes sense. You said you think that Frank hopes that Parker loses, and then you said you think that he's putting his all into securing Parker the Usyk fight. That doesn't make any sense. Martinelli is the worst winger in the league. Fake Brazilian. Is he the worst winger in the league? I wouldn't say he's the worst winger in the league. I think that's a bit strong. Probably the worst winger of the big six for sure. Wanyeri's reactions are so good. He just makes a pass, loses the ball, and then he's on the loose ball straight away. Jeez, there's Saka and Saliba there watching on. Is there a fourth goal coming up to 85 minutes? Is there a fourth goal? Would you take Rashford over Martinelli? I would maybe, but it's very close. It's very, very close. I'm not sure. Like, when Rashford is available on loan, I wasn't sure if I wanted him over Martinelli. I'd take Rashford over Sterling. Sterling's still in the league, by the way. Remember, he's still on the books at Chelsea. Sterling's worse than Martinelli. We literally saw that when they played in the same team. Sterling's worse. Rashford and Martinelli, I actually think, are very similar. Rashford's probably got better finishing. No, I think Frank's putting in the work to get Parker the fight. While I think Wardley, if Wardley had beaten Zhang Bakoli, he would have got him the fight though. Defo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rashford has a lot of package outside of the pitch. Pause. What do you mean? What are you referring to, blood? That sounds a bit mad. What do you mean? Outside the pitch, what does he have? I don't understand. Maybe you know something that we don't know, blood. Maybe you know Marcus better than the rest of us. Wanieri, lovely. Oh, Trossard nearly got there for the fourth. Trossard is just so tricky. Look, unlucky. Ah, Barker, that's great feet. That is great feet. That 29 Barker for Forest is techie. He is techie. Someone's got to look at signing him in the summer because yeah, if Nottingham Forest are going to go down or if they're going to struggle in the Prem, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he caused a lot of stress in the dressing room, his ego and everything. Yeah, 100%. This is what I'm saying. This is what I said before. With the personality, Rashford is better than Martinelli. I'm not arguing that he's not. But what we gain in his technical ability, we might lose from dressing room cohesion. So I don't know that it necessarily helps the team to bring in a player. And he's better than Martinelli, but not by enough of a lot. Like I didn't feel like Arsenal in a title race, we bring Rashford in and we're securing this title. That's not the vibe that I got from Rashford. So Rashford, your fellow snow bunny hunter, bro, he's from the north, innit? I think like if you're black and from the north, then it's different, innit? Because some of them man up north, they ain't really got a lot of black girl up north to pick from. Period. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're in Birmingham or something, if you're in London or Birmingham, you got bare black girl. But outside, maybe Manchester a little bit, but outside of that, slim pickings in this country, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I like black girls still. It's not that I don't, yeah, but it's London is not the place for black girl. If I was born and raised in Miami or something, it'd be a different situation. But here, forget about it. Zubamendi, man of the match, 2 goals. You've got to say that. Still think there's elements on this game to be worked on, but that goal just gave him huge confidence. You look at him. Honestly, I hope someone breaks down the numbers or breaks down his performance before and after that goal because I feel like I saw two different players before and after the goal. Honestly, Wanieri, he tries that little Trossard ball to the back post, but doesn't quite come off. Wanieri looks rusty. He needs some game time. That cross was not good. I wouldn't say he looks rusty. I think he's looked very very tidy for the whole game. That cross was not good though. That particular cross was not good. But I don't think that I would say he looked rusty. I think Ranieri's looked very very tidy. He's dropped deep, received the ball, dropping the shoulder. He's been creative. I wouldn't. I think that's unfair to say that Ranieri's looked rusty. I think he's looked really really good today. For the remember he came on after 16 minutes. He's been on almost the whole game. Do you know what I mean? He's played 75 minutes of football. And in that 75 minutes, I think he's made maybe one or two mistakes. The rest of the game, he's been very tidy. 4 minutes of added time, 3-0 Arsenal. Can we get a fourth? And again, like, for the allegations of boring football, you go and win 3-0 and keep a clean sheet at home against Nottingham Forest, who are not slouches. They're not shit. Fair enough. Like I say, Leeds, Rice, pickpockets. Can we get moving? We can. Trossard. Can we find a shot? Trossard, find a shot. He cuts in. It's an unnecessary cut in. And he goes down and dives for the penalty. He's just got to get that shot away, Trossard. He is the second best 10 in your team. Um Yeah, I mean he's the second 10 in our team. I don't know if I'd maybe put Eze over him. I know Eze's not going to play 10 for us. He's probably going to play on the wing, but even still, at the moment, maybe I put Eze over him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's 17 or 18, isn't it? Of course he's going to be the second best 10 in the team. Erdegaard is the starting 10, and then Wanyeri after that. So me saying Lenny Euro is your second best centre back. Yeah, I guess. My man's wearing a Serge Aurier, not in a Forest top in the crowd, you know. Mad thing. I want a fourth, man. Maybe I'm being greedy. The opportunity was there for Trossard, you know. The opportunity was there. He just don't have the pace. I feel like he felt like the defender was going to catch him. And so he tried to cut in and buy a penalty. But he could have just gone direct and got a goal. He could have gone direct. Zubimendi's giving the ball away in a dangerous position. Unnecessary to give the ball away there. Good block from Marino. We could see Nico Williams was trying to line up a shot. Trossard, can we go? Can we find a pass? Ball over the top. Martinelli. Ah, Martinelli, you're dead. Martinelli, you're so dead. Oh my word. This is probably Martinelli's last season for Arsenal, right? You got to say. You got Saka over him. You've probably got Trossard, Eze, Madueke over him. I'm putting Reece Nelson over him. And pretty soon, I'm putting Max Dowman over him. He's going to be like our sixth choice winger, Martinelli. Not in the Forest giving the ball away really cheaply. Rice, lovely touch and turn from Rice. Can we find a nice easy pass? No, we're doing the complicated pass. Trossard is there on the edge of the box, waiting for that ball. Good block. Good, solid defending from Gabriel. Watch the shot all the way. Seeing players like Martinelli early living his peak. 100%, bro. He should just be a sprinter. Do you know what I'm saying? Adam Jamili in that blood because he's not a football player. That's full time, 3-0, clean sheet at home. Bro, what can I say? What more can I say? Do you know what I'm saying? Top of the table, not for long until Liverpool and Chelsea play. But still, tidy performance. Like I'm so much more technically better than Martinelli. Bro, facts. I ain't even seen you play, but facts. Um, Again, good solid win. Good win. 3-0 at home. Um, and just first game, but we can't, Nottingham Forest ain't going to take too much from that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to read too much into it. But for Arsenal, you know, we slapped Leeds 5-0, and the talk was, well, this is Leeds. Do you know what I'm saying? They're a relegation candidate. They're not serious. Nottingham Forest, I don't think coming into the season was seen as a relegation candidate. You might say now because of all the drama at the club, people might look at them funny, but I don't think that they're a relegation candidate. I think that 3-0 at home with a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest is a very, very good result. People will try to denigrate it and tear Arsenal down and say, well, it's only Nottingham Forest, but we'll see what some of those rival clubs do when they play Nottingham Forest. But for me, very, very positive game. Um, what I'm seeing is just players moving through the gears, you know. Zubimendi scored an absolute banger of a goal and seemed way more confident after the goal than he was before. Totally different player. Gyökeres at halftime, I said that I wanted to see him be more physical. I wanted to see the team play more to him, but I wanted to see him not feeling sorry for himself as much. And he came out second half and got a goal within a minute. And they were the two players at halftime that I was looking at as sort of underperformers, both Gyökeres and Zubamendi. And they come out second half and put in really, really strong performances. And that's really positive for me. That's really, really positive for me because they're two players that we're still not sure what we're going to get from them. I know we've got some injuries. We'll talk about the injuries in a second, but there are players like Rice, Saka, Erdegaard, even to a degree Havertz, Trossard. These are players we know what we're going to get from them. And whenever you bring a new player in, there's that awkward middle ground of what are we going to get from this player? What are we going to get from this player? And what we've seen today from Zubamendi, if this is what we're going to get, if this is the Zubamendi we're going to get, then we are in a good place with this signing. With regards to Gyökeres, a lot of people in the chat were criticizing him, talking about his technical ability, and I said, listen, in the first half, we didn't play to his strengths. We're putting random balls into the box. Madueke was very, very good at beating the man, but the end product was poor. The crosses were poor. The shots were poor. The beating of the fullback was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But that final third play needed to be better and a little bit tidier, a little bit more intentional. Because a lot of the time, he's crossing the ball. And I think actually, if you asked him, who are you crossing that to? He'd probably say, I don't know. He's just crossing generally into spaces, right? And that's not it's not good enough to be winning league titles, right? We've got to be a little bit more intentional. But I also did see a little bit from Gyökeres of feeling sorry for himself and not being a real bastard, for lack of a better term. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see a bit more Diego Costa from him. People are looking at him and comparing him, talking technical ability, saying, oh, Harry Kane can do this, or he's not Harry Kane, right? Gyökeres is Gyökeres. So, but the team need to find a way to get him into better positions. Do you know what I'm saying? So, brother, you people black, you support Canelo or Bud Crawford black, question mark. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. I support good boxers. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't support boxers because they're black. I think Crawford's going to win the fight tonight because he's a better boxer, not because he's black. But yeah, I don't know why black's in the conversation. But anyway, but yeah, like, for me, Madueke was really good, but that final third needed to be better. But Gyökeres, I don't want to see him feeling sorry for himself. I want to see him stepping up. I want to see him trying to bully defenders. I want to see him actually enjoy the physical side of the game. That's what Haaland has. That's what Diego Costa has. What they don't have in technical ability, like Ekatike or an Isak or these kind of guys. Mo Salah. Salah's kind of a winger, so it's a bit different. But what they don't have, they really enjoy the physical side of the game, even though they're maybe not super technical. And that's what I want to see from Gyökeres. I want to see him enjoying that side of the game. It's the ugly side, it's the rough side, but in the Premier League, it's a big, big part of what we do in this league. Injuries, Erdegaard, again, for me, some people said he didn't look sharp. I actually thought Erdegaard looked quite good. I thought he looked quite progressive. I thought he looked, he was carrying the ball forwards. He's trying to play passes through and break up the defense and stuff like that with different passes. And I thought he looked positive. It wasn't the best performance, but he was the mindset was clearly in a good place. But he got injured after 16 minutes. 16 minutes in, he got injured, and Ethan Wanieri came on. Now, when Wanieri came on, to me, he just looks so tidy. He looks really tidy. He looks really comfortable. I can think of 2 times he lost the ball. Once he tried to go wide to Eze, a little bit over ambitious, not necessary. And another time, I think he just tried to dribble it and lost it. But the vast majority of the time he was on the pitch, he played 75 minutes today, and he looked very, very tidy. There's one shot he hit that was well over, but he's very forward thinking. He's very progressive, and it's all the things that you want in an attacking team. Maybe if we were a more defensive team, it wouldn't work, but in an attacking team like Arsenal, he's brilliant. And what I love about Wanyeri is he's very comfortable everywhere on the pitch. When the defense is trying to play out, he's happy to come and receive the ball in the middle of the park with players on his shoulder and play in amongst physical contact. And this is what I said about Gyökeres. He doesn't want to play in physical contact, but you're probably going to have to if you're a Premier League striker. As Wanyeri already is playing within, he's literally got big, strong men on his back, wresting the ball off him, and he's still happy to give me the ball. You can see the centre back saying, "Are you sure you got someone on you?" He's saying, "Nah, man, give me the ball. I'm down for that." I thought the subs were good. Switched both wingers. Trossard came on, got an assist straight away. I thought Martinelli, flattered to deceive, as they say. We still got the same problems with Martinelli time and time again. So I really do hope that he can find a little bit of form, because I do feel like this could potentially be his last season at Arsenal. We've got Trossard, who I think is better. Madueke and Eze are both better or showing me more. Saka, obviously, is Bukayo Saka. And we've got Max Dowman coming through the ranks. We've even got Wanyeri, if Odegaard is fit. Maybe Wanyeri plays out wide at times. He's falling further and further down the list of Arsenal wingers. And it's a shame. It is a real shame. You know, he's got some talent, but he needs to show a little bit more. We can't really rely on Martinelli. That's how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, overall, listen, people again, people saying in the chat that it was a boring game or that Arsenal are a boring team. 3-0 at home. You know, I don't know what drama and excitement you lot are looking to see. Do you know what I'm saying? 3-0 at home, clean sheet. You know, some people were more, some fans of certain clubs were more excited to be um losing at home 1-0 to Arsenal, and they were coming out clapping the fans and really excited and yay, we're back. Some people thought they were back. They thought they were back when they lost 1-0, and then they called us boring when we won 3-0. I don't understand it. I can't figure out these rival fans, to be honest with you. But yeah, you know, like I say, Nottingham Forest is a big scalp. We'll see them again at the City Ground. Maybe we've caught them at a little bit of a good time, but it don't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got two new signings that have come into this starting 11. Zubamendi gets a brace, man of the match, and Gyökeres comes in and he gets a goal. And that, I think that's 3 goals now in 4 league games. Do you know what I mean? So you can talk about flat track bully and all the rest of it. I've been on record as saying I want 15 to 20 goals from this striker in all comps. If he gets 20 goals in all competitions, for me, that's a very successful first Premier League season. And he's on 3 goals in 4 games. I think he'll get more, not more goals because we play more games in the Premier League, but I think he'll get a decent return in the Champions League because the games are going to be so open and people won't sit in a low block as much because they're playing for position. So, you know, for me, this is a great positive step, you know, and I really do enjoy seeing Arteta dropping a little bit of his like kind of favoritism to a certain degree. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm positive, very, very positive. Do you know what I'm saying? Just wanted to talk my shit at the end of the game. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back later on for the boxing, so make sure that you're here for that. The biggest fight of the year, Canelo versus Crawford. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I think is potentially a 50-50 fight. Do you know what I mean? The only reason you might edge Canelo is just because of the size, but with regards to, you know, Crawford is a far better boxer, far superior boxer, but can he carry some strength and power up to 168? Can he stop Canelo from coming forwards? Can Canelo get a knockout victory over Crawford? We're going to find out. So we're going to be live from about 2-3 a.m. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the morning. Peace and love every time. I'm out for now. Arsenal top of the table, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Safe.